Welcome to Day 16, Part 2 of our epic 40-day 2025 Pacific Northwest road trip as we travel from Lava Beds National Monument to Crater Lake National Park in Oregon. After crossing the Oregon border, I had now been to my 49th state. As we made our way to Crater Lake, we passed by Upper Klamath Lake. Upper Klamath Lake is a massive, shallow, freshwater lake known as the largest body of fresh water in the United States west of the Rocky Mountains. In Klamath Falls, Oregon, on the way to Crater Lake. There's a beautiful lake on the side here. The lake is nearly 30 miles long and up to 8 miles wide and serves as a critical habitat for diverse wildlife and a central hub for regional recreation despite ongoing water quality challenges. It is home to the federally endangered short-nosed sucker and Lost River sucker. A mere 44 miles from Crater Lake now. And enjoying the views on the road. And now we're only about 24 miles from Crater Lake, and my hunch is that that's Crater Lake up there, the old Mount Mazama. So exciting, we're now only 19 miles from Crater Lake, and the cows are taking a siesta. Crater Lake National Park in southern Oregon was established in 1902 and is the fifth oldest national park in the United States. It is home to the deepest lake in the United States, reaching a depth of 1,949 feet. Formed approximately 7,700 years ago by the violent eruption and collapse of Mount Mazama, the lake sits inside a volcanic caldera and is renowned for its intense blue color and extreme clarity. Because it is fed entirely by rain and snow, with no inlets or outlets, it remains one of the most pristine bodies of water on Earth. Our first stop was a pull-off to view Annie Falls at the Annie Falls picnic area, located on the east side of Highway 62. We are currently in Crater Lake someplace. Unfortunately, we got a call right when GPS was telling us where to go, and so I'm assuming we're in the right spot, but it's part of Crater Lake. The waterfall is approximately 53 feet tall and is located deep within Annie Creek Canyon. The canyon is composed of petrified volcanic ash. Views of the falls are elusive and obstructed by heavy forest growth at the canyon bottom. We could only see a sliver of white water through the trees. While the view was difficult to catch, the sound of the cascading water was prominent throughout the picnic area. And that is Annie Falls way down there. We now made our way to our accommodations for the night. Crater Lake Lodge is a historic 71-room hotel located directly on the southwest rim of the Crater Lake caldera. It was built in 1915 and extensively renovated in 1995. It sits nearly 1,000 feet above the lake. Although we arrived at check-in time, our room would not be ready for at least another hour. The Crater Lake dining room overlooks the lake and serves Northwest regional cuisine for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We were not able to eat there during our stay as the reservations were booked ahead for 2.5 weeks. We decided to wait in the Great Hall, a central gathering space featuring a large native stone fireplace, tall windows, and ponderosa pine accents. Fortuitously, Ranger Kate was giving a talk there, which became a hootenanny as she played banjo and sang familiar songs, with the lyrics changed to reflect Crater Lake.
Your song. So if you guys want to sing along, that would be fantastic, but no pressure. And I won't force any solos upon you if that's not what you want. You would not. I don't know. Maybe I would. But feel free to sing along. I'm going to start off by talking about a legend of Crater Lake. Has anybody here heard of the old man of Crater Lake? Yeah. So anybody who hasn't heard of the old man of Crater Lake? Okay. Well, if you've all heard, but I'm still going to talk a little bit about him in case anybody's being shy. So the old man of Crater Lake is actually not a human. We are talking about a log that floats in the water and refuses to sink. And that log has been floating around vertically, 30 feet long, about 3.5 feet above water, the rest of it below, just cruising around like this. So he's kind of like our Where's Waldo on the lake. We never know where he's going to show up because he just moves around. And we're not sure how he moves. We suspect it's currents, lower currents, but we'll see him sometimes moving against those strong winds. So that strange vertically floating log has been floating for a long time. I do have an image of him for those of you who have not heard of the old man. So here's a picture of the old man with the ranger standing on his head. This is not something we do now. It is not a good idea to stand on the head of a legend, but this is fantastic for scale to see how large this big log is. So the old man, the first written account of the old man is from 1897. So at least 130 years this log has been floating. Here's a more modern color photo of the old man. You can see his delightful collar of moss. So it's enough to be a bizarre, vertically floating log. He also has stories about him attached, of course. One of the most famous stories comes from our former lake biologist, Mark Bactenica. And so he was here for about 30 years, and he had the privilege, the scary privilege in my opinion, to go to the bottom of the lake to see if there was evidence of geothermal activity down there. There was an energy company that started drilling just outside of the park, and we said, wait a minute, stop, don't drill. What if you affect the geochemistry of the lake? And so they said, well, is the lake likely to erupt again? And we're just like, don't know. It's an almost 2,000 foot deep lake. Not sure, we haven't been to the bottom. So we had to find a way to get to the bottom to prove to them that they should not drill. So we did send somebody down. Mark went to the bottom, but before he did, we looked over at the old man and thought, what if the old man floats his way over where this very dangerous operation is going to happen and endangers Mark on the bottom? So they decided to take the old man, drag him over to Wizard Island, tie him up, and he did not like that. Where is he? Can you see? He's probably frowning at the time. So he was very unhappy, and the way he showed his displeasure was the moment they tied him up, the clouds started moving in, the wind started whipping, and the rain started pouring, so they had to stop their underwater operations for a day, for 2 days. On the third day, it started snowing, and it was August. So these men of science looked at one another and said, you know what, superstitious, but maybe we should untie the old man and see what happens. So they untied the old man, and what do you think happened? I know you were on my boat. Absolutely, the skies cleared, the sun came out, and they were able to continue with underwater operations. So there are a number of other old man stories I have in my back pocket. I've worked here long enough and I've seen the old man show up in very odd places at interesting times. Like, for example, during the pandemic, there were no boat tours. There weren't a lot of people on the lake. Where was the old man spending most of his time that summer? hanging out by the Lady of the Lake, which is a rock formation over on the northeast side. Where was the old man the first day we came back to have boat tours? On that very first day, where was the old man? He was banging up literally against the boat when we came down the trail. So he shows up interesting places at interesting times. And in his honor, because he is my favorite character, I was going to dedicate this song to him. So if you would like to join me, we're going to count to 10 together. And of course, the song is This Old Man, right? And it goes out of tune because it's a banjo. This old man, he played one, finding him is half the fun. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating two. This old man, he played two, he's floating round the lake crew. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Three, this old man, he played three, he's boldly defying gravity. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Four, this old man, he played four, he's getting stuck up on the shore. Which happens, then he always unsticks himself, it's amazing. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Five, this old man, he played five, over a century and still alive, in quotes. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Six, this old man, he played six, messing with the weather and playing tricks. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Seven, this old man, he played seven. I don't have a line for seven, anybody? He won't go to heaven. I like that. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Eight, this old man, he played eight, supernatural or just weird things. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Nine, this old man, he played nine, is getting caught in your fishing line. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. 10, this old man, he played 10, he's floating around Wiz Isle again, and that's where he is today. I think he's in the bay there. You can look down and see a little white stop there by Wizard Island, that's the old man. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came floating home. Nice! Good job, you guys. Very good. So yeah, the old man, my favorite character of Crater Lake, besides Ranger Ben and Ranger Tracy, my single favorite character. So if you get a chance to go look for him tonight, walk over and look over at the bay where the docks are, and I think that's where he was. So for the next song, I am going to need a pika chorus. Who knows what pika are? Yes.
Little rodent-like creature that makes a funny sound.
Well said. You know, he probably has a longer biography in other places, but that's perfect. A funny little, it's about the size of your palm. They're related to rabbits. And look how cute they are. So these little cuties like to live in the rocky slopes so they can dive deep down into the rocks and avoid extreme temperatures because they can't really self-regulate their temperatures. So if you want to see this cutie, you kind of have to hang out by rocky slopes. They're all over this park, but there's definitely some up the beginning of the Garfield Trail even before you start. Go by rocky slopes, and if you listen, usually later in the afternoon or early morning, you'll hear them before you see them. So the way a pica sounds. I have a recording. I love modern technology if I only knew how to use it. Here we go. This is what a pica sounds like. All right, let's hear it one more time because, again, we're going to need a pica chorus. All right. So how about on the count of 3, I hear a pica. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. But you know, let's get that pitch right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Do you speak pica? Are you fluent? Very good. All right. So I will need a volunteer to hold the lyrics to this next song that I know y'all will recognize, but I kind of tweaked the lyrics a little bit to fit Crater Lake. Anybody who would hold it? I promise I won't make you sing a solo. Anyone? Would you like to hold it for me? Come on up. What's your name, hon? Elio. Thank you. So, you can hold that. Perfect. And, yeah, you know what we're going to sing. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Next we'll talk about trails. Who's been hiking so far? Anybody? I know you have. There are mountains to hike when you come. There are waterfalls to hike to when you come. You can hike down to the lake. There is one trail to take if you hike to the lake when you come. And it's a real easy trail, right? Piece of cake. 1.1 down feels like 10 coming out. And we won't feed the wildlife when we come. Nope. And we won't feed the wildlife when we come. We'll respect nature's role for every bird, beast, and bull. No, we won't feed the wildlife when we come. So even if they're cute and begging, it's not healthy for them. And there's a whole host of problems. So thank you for not feeding wildlife. Oh, pica. We'll be listening for pica when we come. We'll be listening for pica when we come. Mr. Time. Listening for pica when we come. There we go. Hang out by the rocket slopes. Nice. Do you have any hopes of seeing any pica when you come? And they're so cute. It's very pleasant to hear them in the air. And we'll go night sky gazing when we come. Yes, we'll go night sky gazing when we come. We can stare up at the stars, see the Milky Way and Mars. We can go sky gazing when we come. If you were here last night, you may have seen Ranger Ben give a night sky program. But you can always go yourself tonight and just enjoy the dark, dark skies, if we don't have clouds. You can visit in the summer when you come. You can visit spring or fall when you come. In the winter we are open. If you are hoping to ski, snowshoe, or shiver when you come. So the park is still open in the winter, even though we get about 50 feet of snow up here. Crazy. That will end it with, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Good. Thank you so much for helping me. You make an excellent holder of posters. Excuse me, I have a gift for you. Thank you. Thanks so much. See, you didn't know the helper would get a prize, right? All right, for this last song, it's one you will recognize, I'm sure, and it's one that really makes me think about public lands, you know, these places that we come to enjoy together. So the modern American tradition of campfire singing and gathering together out of doors really began in the late 1800s, early 1900s. People started having a little more free time and spending more time in the great outdoors. It was around this time that national parks started coming about, like Crater Lake in 1902, and state and national, like state and county parks as well. So it's really a movement, and what did people do when they came out here? They didn't have their cell phones to distract them. They had each other, they had nature, and they had their voices, and sometimes maybe a 5-string banjo. And so in that spirit, I like to think of us singing now. We're not the first people to sing here, we won't be the last, but it's like the history of people have come even to this lodge since it was built in 1915, just to raise our voices and appreciate public lands and nature. So a great classic from the American Songbook, Woody Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land. If we could do 3 verses, that'd be great. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I've followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was calling. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said no trespassing, but on the other side didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Nice, you guys. Yay! Thank you so much for singing along and coming. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If anybody wants to hear a Led Zeppelin tune, I'm sorry, I don't know any banjo. But yeah, any questions, anyone?
Free burger. Has anybody put a tracker?
By the conclusion of Ranger Kate's talk, our room became available. This is our room in the Crater Lake Lodge. It looks somewhat comfy, but here's the view from our room. Looks right out on Wizard Island. And I'm happy to say I was able to get a boat trip tomorrow. Rooms are basic and do not include TVs, air conditioning, or room phones. Some rooms offer direct lake views. We were lucky to have a view of Wizard Island from our room. After settling into our room, we went to the Rim Village Cafe for dinner. It was very expensive and not very good. We then walked along the Rim Village Promenade, a historic paved pedestrian walkway located within the Rim Village Historic District. Constructed between 1928 and 1932, it serves as the primary walking path for visitors to access various viewpoints, historic buildings, and park services. And here's a view of the lake. One can see almost the entire lake from the promenade, offering a prime spot for viewing, even without taking on more challenging hikes. Walking 100 feet further on the trail allowed a full view of Wizard Island. The promenade offers excellent views of Wizard Island, the 760-foot volcanic cinder cone inside the crater. Here's another view of Wizard Island in Crater Lake. A massive eruption and collapse 7,700 years ago left a deep basin in place of 12,000-foot Mount Mazama. Over the next 300 to 400 years, a small eruption helped seal the floor, allowing rain and snowmelt to fill the basin and create Crater Lake. Wizard Island is a cinder cone formed during this time. As lava erupted into the air, cooled quickly and fell as cinders. Magma also erupted underwater, forming smooth pillow lava. The second, smaller volcano, Miriam Cone, is hidden from view beneath the lake. We continued 100 feet further down the promenade. The lake does look amazing. It's a little bit hazy, I guess, because of
The smoke.
some of the smoke. We reached the midpoint of the promenade. Unfortunately, the path to the Senate Memorial Overlook was closed. This is a cement sculpture of Crater Lake, which was located on the promenade. And you can see the Phantom ship from here too. No,
Till you got to the bottom.
well, that's one way to get to the bottom. Quicker than the hike, I guess. The comment I made about "that's one way to get to the bottom" referred to how someone had just got off the trail to get closer to the rim to get a better selfie, and it caused some stones to fall down the crater. Luckily for them, they didn't slip down the rim. We were now about 1,200 feet down the promenade.
Okay.
I'll bring the thing up. Well, we'll find out if... This was about 100 feet from the lodge. Still snow down there, even though it's August. We now reach the end of the promenade and we're back at Crater Lake Lodge. And this is from the Crater Lake Lodge. Our room is up there on the second floor. Mary and I thank you for watching Day 16, Part 2 of our 2025 Pacific Northwest road trip, where we started our visit to Crater Lake National Park in Oregon. We checked into the magnificent historic Crater Lake Lodge. Although the rooms are pricey, we felt the cost was worth the convenience and location. We had made our reservations 9 months in advance. It is generally recommended that you make reservations a year in advance. We were fortunate to secure a lake view room that included a full view of Wizard Island. Unfortunately, we were not able to eat at the Crater Lake Lodge dining room. One needs to make reservations a month in advance for that dining experience. We did learn the following day that you can order food from the bar, which is preferable to the food that is available at Rim Village Cafe. We hope you'll join us for Day 17, Part 1, as we continue our visit to Crater Lake. We hike the Cleetwood Cove Trail to the shore of Crater Lake and board our boat and begin our circumnavigation of the caldera.